gnomes, the earth element, or otherwise known as salamanders, sylphs, nymphs and pygmies. We have the 4 Hippocratic humours. They are blood, yellow bile, black bile and phlegm. And we've got the 4 personality types, the phlegmatic, the sanguine, the choleric and the melancholic. So, I mean, I can go on. There's 4 blood types. We have 4 limbs and 1 head. 4 limbs and 1 head. The mercury, sulfur, azoth and salt also correspond to these. The list of 4s go on and on and on and on. They are the 4 building blocks of the universe. Now, what's a hex? That's a hex. What happens when you flat pack a hex? That's the shape you get when you flat pack a hex. Earth, molecule, solidity, that's the cross. That is the holy cross, the cross of matter, the hex. We've been hexed down here, sub-ether. We come from here, we come from the causal world, and we have these 4 elements we are made of. We are made of light, particles, atom, molecules. We are made of these 4 elements that correspond to this. Alright, so we are light, we are liquid, we are solid, and we are air. Again, light, air, liquid, and solid. Bones. These are the 4 building blocks, okay? And this is at the bottom, the hex. This hex is at the bottom. The Japanese kanji for earth. This is the Chinese and Japanese kanji for earth. The cross. Carbon. Where is carbon? At the bottom. Representing earth. That's at the bottom. Solidity. What's the elemental numbers for carbon? Carbon has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. 666. It's carbon. The mark of the beast. It's the mark of man. It's the number of a man. Because men are solid. That we were spiritual. But our soul has gravitated to the material world. This is how it works. This is the science, okay? Now this is where I'm merging the old science, because this is science. I'm merging it with the new. That's about enough with the... Keep these in mind. I'm going to keep this board up because we're going to be referring to this all the time. These are the building blocks of the universe, guys. Carbon is the hex. 666, it's the cross. That's what the mark of the man is, the mark of the beast. I mean, you've got these guys with all these weird and wonderful ideas about 666. Now, I've heard it was the Pope. I heard it was the Catholic religion. I heard it was the credit card. I've heard that it was the barcodes. I've heard... How many theories have you heard about 666? I reckon there's a good 1,000. It's carbon. Now, let's go and let's spend probably about 5 minutes on Fibonacci. Phi. We know pi is 3.1.141 and phi is 1.618. But these are irrational numbers. They are transcendental numbers. They go on and on and on and on and on. They never zero out. They never finish. And so they say that they're not from this dimension. They're irrational numbers. And these are the building blocks of the universe, because this energy uses these ratios. This is called the golden ratio, okay? This is the golden ratio. 800 years ago, probably one of my ancestors, I don't know, I doubt it, had the same surname, Leonardo Bonacci. His nickname was Fibonacci. Fib means the son of. Now Fibonacci, he discovered this ratio by adding 1 plus 1, and then the next number in the series would 1 plus 1 would equal 2, right? And then 1 plus 2 would equal 3. 2 and 3 are 5. 3 and 5 are 8. 5 and 8 are 13. 8 and 13 are 21. Oops. 21. 34. 55.
89.
Good one. And what's the magic number over here?
144.
Yeah, 144. Right? Keep that in mind. It's a very, very holy number. I'm going to show you a lot about numbers. In the Bible, there's always 12. There's always 72. There's always 4. There's always 3, and there's always 7. There's 40, 30. 30 days of the month. 40 is also in this. And I'll explain that. Sorry?
It rained for 40 days and 40 nights.
Everything happens. Moses was in the wilderness. They were in the wilderness for 40 days. Jesus was tempted for 40 days. He didn't ascend after he was resurrected for 40 days, so he hung around for 40 days. 40 days. Everywhere. Wow. Now, why am I mentioning this? Well, I've shown some pictures. There's some wonderful pictures that you can see with the Fibonacci ratio. Everything, almost everything unfurls at that rate. It's in nature, it's in architecture. The beautiful ratio at which the nature unfurls. How do we get that? How does that happen? Well, here's some hints as to how it happens. Why are we manifesting with these shapes? Why are we manifesting in this way? Well, as I showed you the solar system before, there's the solar system, there's Mercury, there's Venus, there's Earth, there's Mars. They are the only 4 solid planets in our solar system. The only 4 solid planets. These are gas. And they're made up more or less of they're made up more or less of the same elements as the Sun. Hydrogen and then a mixture of helium. These are gas balls, guys. The monsters, Jupiter and Saturn, these 2 monsters are just gas balls, just like the Sun. Okay? Now, as they go around, all these orbits, Mercury takes 88 days to go around the Sun, 225 days to go around the Sun, 365, 2 years, 12 years, 30 years, 187 years, I think. Or no, it's 84 years, 180 years, and Pluto's about 248 years. Right? Pluto is no longer a planet. And these are not visible to the naked eye, these beautiful planets outside of the 7. From our perspective on Earth, we have a moon that we can see, so we include that in the 7, which give us the 7 days of the week. We have the sun, which gives us Sunday, and these are the gods, so to speak, of our solar system. Let me introduce you to them. The sun, Sunday, Mercury is Wednesday, thank you. Venus is Friday, Mars is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturn is Saturn Day, or Saturday. These are the 7, what's known as the Elohim in the Bible. These are the 7 cosmocrators. And they say in Genesis, let us make man in our image. Because this is an atom. We're living in an atom. It's like a big atom. And it generates life. Souls are attracted to this planet. and are evolved on this planet, and then souls depart. But whilst we're here, it's these 7 that give us the form and the shape that we have. And how does that happen? Well, if you study the relationship between the planets, you'll find that they're all making these beautiful patterns. Look at these wonderful patterns. Have a look at these very, very carefully. Right? That's Mercury and Venus. As Mercury and Venus interact, they make this sort of a 3-leaf clover shape in the heavens every time they go around each other. There's Mercury and Earth. Look at this beautiful shape. How's this one? Mercury interacting with Jupiter. Mercury and Saturn. Here's Venus and Mars. What about Venus and the Earth? See the pentagram? Venus and the Earth? Let's spend a little bit of time on Venus and the Earth. Just to give you, I'm just going to give you some small examples as to how our solar system is structured for phi, the golden ratio, the golden section. There's the Sun, there's Venus. Venus goes around 13 times to our 8 times, and as it races around 13 times, and our planet goes around slowly, there are certain nodal points which they join up. And it makes a pentagram. There's the pentagram. Because Venus goes around 13 times around the Sun, which is at the centre. And the Sun and our Earth goes around exactly 8 times, and this 5-shaped star is where they conjunct as they go around. They will only meet because Venus is going around so fast and our Earth is going around so slowly that when they catch up to each other, you get one of these points. Right? So you've got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 8, and you have 13. These are Fibonacci numbers. So we can see just how one planet gives us the right geometric forms for us to manifest with Fibonacci numbers. We cannot but manifest on this Earth by these. I'll just leave that on the camera a little bit longer so that people can just... There's Mars, Saturn. There's Mars and Jupiter. There's the Earth and Jupiter. That's a beautiful pattern. That's what they do.